So recently, Marvel just dropped the first issue of the brand new Ultimate Spider-Man series, and I just want to talk about it a tiny bit in this video because it's actually got a lot of cool stuff going on in it. So wasting no time getting into it, I just want to cover kind of some of the main differences. For starters, Peter Parker is a fully grown adult, but has never been Spider-Man, which was very surprising to me because I thought it was going to be a thing where he has been Spider-Man and he just was able to grow up and get married and have kids while being Spider-Man, but no, it's actually, we got kind of a Walter White situation going on, which is really interesting actually, and I'm kind of glad they went in this direction with it. He was never bitten. There's no like Spider-Man in his place. His whole life he's just been living like everyone else, which I think is a really interesting development, but obviously it does get reversed at the end of this issue, kind of, which I'll get into later. Another thing is that Peter's parents still died when he was young in this universe, so he still went to live with Uncle Ben and Aunt May. Speaking of them, Uncle Ben never died in this universe. He's still alive even today. Aunt May did die very recently in a very tragic event, which I will explain further in just a second. J. Jonah Jameson and Uncle Ben are actually, from what I can tell, best friends. They both work at the Bugle and have been there for years, and Peter just kind of joined them in kind of the family business, I guess. Really, really cool. J. Jonah Jameson, Ben Parker, and Peter Parker all at the Bugle together. Really interesting. I like that a lot. That's kind of one of my favorite changes. J. Jonah Jameson and Ben Parker really go well together in this series, and I really like that. Another thing, speaking of the Daily Bugle, is it's bankrolled by Kingpin, so he kind of controls the news, and this is kind of showcased in this issue specifically. He's trying to stick his meaty fingers in and like meddle with the direction of the coverage of some of these news stories surrounding the recent tragic event that happened that killed Aunt May. And interestingly enough, him meddling around with the news like that actually drove Jonah and Ben to both quit in this very issue. So we see them all together, Peter, Ben, and Jonah, and within a span of a couple pages, two of them quit. So that was pretty interesting. It was kind of funny how they did it. Speaking of this event, Norman Osborn actually died in it too, from what I can tell. So Aunt May and Norman Osborn, two of the most prominent characters in Spider-Man comics, were killed off just like that. So that's really, really interesting. It creates a completely different landscape of characters. And, you know, this is evidenced further by the fact that Harry Osborn immediately steps up to carry on the legacy of his father, but Peter and MJ don't really know him. So in this universe, there is no like connection between Peter and MJ and Harry or Norman, so like the Osborns aren't involved, and it seems as though because of that and because Spider-Man never existed, Norman Osborn never became the Green Goblin. So like Norman Osborn and Kingpin do exist, but they're not the super mega ultra villains that we know them as today because of Spider-Man. However, in this same issue, a new like armored Green Goblin blows up Kingpin's car while he's getting into it. We don't know why, we don't know how, we don't know what happened after that, we don't know if Kingpin was actually killed, but I would assume that this Green Goblin is Harry. We can only assume that it is, so I'm not really sure how that works or why he would target Kingpin or why he would have the Green Goblin suit and take on the name himself, or maybe it's a misdirect and it's not even Harry. I'm not sure how any of it works yet. They kind of just teased us with it without focusing on it too much, which in my opinion is just fine. There's tons of room to focus on that later, but yeah, with Peter Parker kind of having his Walter White thing and feeling like he's been robbed of the life that he's supposed to have, not living up to his potential, I think it's really good. I think the approach that Jonathan Hickman is taking with this book is really, really good. Really, you know, it's such a good start so far because it's a lot more human than his books usually are. You know, he's gotten criticism in the past for starting off a series, the first like 20 issues with just a lot of plot setup and exposition, and kind of at the expense of good character moments, good character interactions, good arcs, good development. In this one, it's just straight character and very, very little plot, and I really like that. I'm just kind of curious where he's gonna go with that, what his end goal to the story is, because of the reveal at the end where Peter allows himself to get bitten and he gets the whole like spiel from Tony Stark basically vindicating that he has been living the wrong life. We're kind of dealing with a Marvel Ultimate Universe like Flashpoint playing out in real time, which is cool. I'm just kind of hoping that they don't end up like going back to the Ultimate Universe status quo and reversing what we have now, because what we have now is really interesting and I feel like it has a lot of potential. I personally would like to see where they go with this. I trust Hickman, I trust Marvel to make a good story out of this. I feel like they know they have the bones of a really interesting story that could go on for years, in my opinion. This issue nailed it. Very, very excited for the future. Really interested to know what you guys think about all of this kind of different world and Peter's struggle, you know, him having kids and all this. Are you excited for the future of this? Do you think that this has the potential to pass the original Ultimate Spider-Man in how iconic it is? Because personally, I feel like it has the bones to do that. Depending on the execution of it, this could be really, really good, and I'm excited, you know what I mean? There's a lot going on here, you know, a lot of different pieces of a puzzle that I'm excited to see come together. I just want to see how Hickman pulls this off and what he does with it. Let me know your thoughts, leave a like on this video if you enjoyed, and subscribe for more videos like this. Yeah, until next time, I will see you later. Thanks for watching.